Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. Here we are, it's December, so I want to talk to you about a bait and how to rig it specifically that I think is very important. That's a jig. As we are here in December, we're going to move into January, February, just the coldest water of the year. And I feel like the jig will get you some better quality bites than most other lures. And there's a way that I like to rig it that I wanted to share with you. It's a tackle prep tip segment here out of that tackle prep tip playlist. But before I get into it, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. If you like some other type of bait, share that in the comment section. So the jig. I love fishing a jig. A 3/8 to 3/4 ounce jig in the wintertime is probably my go-to for catching better quality fish. And it's just a great way to catch fish in the wintertime in that colder water period. Crawdads are moving slower, all the bait fish are moving slower. Fishing a jig slower is probably, the best way to get bit on it. There's some ways that I've liked to rig it that I think are really important. One of the things that I think I need to tell you about is I love to fish a chunk style trailer in the cold water period because I feel like that imitates how the prey items out there are moving around. I don't typically like to have a trailer that has a lot of aggressive action like a rage craw or other types of trailers that are really moving a bunch of water and flailing about. I like those in a lot of times throughout the year, but in the coldest water, I definitely want to say that the jig chunk is the go-to for me. So the way I like to rig it is I want to put something on the actual shank of the hook that keeps my jig chunk from sliding up onto the shank. See, that's not how I want to rig it. I want my jig on that bend. I want my trailer on that bend, in that bend area, so that it looks like this. So it kind of looks like a crawfish profile as it comes through the water, but also helps it in its vertical descent. This will catch water and it'll slow it down, and the heavy head will pull it into the water. One of the other things that I've seen is a lot of times a bass will suck that bait in, and it'll actually turn this around, and as you're setting the hook, and you'll actually get some of the trailer onto the hook and past the weed guard, and it'll end up something like that, and it can prevent you from getting some fish that you otherwise would have hooked if you could just use this one little quick tip. And that is, I'm gonna take a finesse worm. This is a Strike King Fat Baby Finesse, like a 4.5 inch worm. I'm gonna just break off a piece. I've already done that here. And I'm gonna just thread that onto the shank of this Strike King Tour Grade skipping jig. I like the skipping jig because it's really a versatile jig. The head design allows me to fish it through brush and cover. And I wanna take a piece that's gonna kind of it'll seat up against the back of the jig, run onto this coil section or this spring section, which is a trailer keeper right there. But I also want it to come up around the bend, just as straight as I can, nice and straight on there. One of the other things that I feel like doing this really helps is it adds a little bit more bulk to the bait. So instead of there just being the hook shank back there, you've got a little bit more bulk. So there we go. It's on there, and like I said, it'll come right up on the edge here. That's okay because I want it to kind of come over on the bend, and that's what I'm looking for. I want something so that that jig trailer is not gonna slide up the shank of the hook. Because a lot of times, like I said, in the casting process, or a bass will suck it in and it can run up on the shank and turn over and cover your hook point, and you can lose fish like that. So this really helps it stay right where I want it, is this little piece of worm. So now you're ready to go. Your jig's in place, your trailer's in place, everything's looking like it needs to. And the beautiful thing about this is you can add a little bit more color. I've got this finesse worm that's really similar. It's kind of green pumpkin with kind of a brownish orange belly or pumpkin type belly. So it goes well with this green pumpkin orange type jig here. But that's the tip that I would definitely say, just gonna make you more efficient, more effective as you're making your presentations, but also gonna help you hook and land some more fish. So definitely try this tip next time you're out there fishing a jig. Just don't pin that trailer on there. In my opinion, this helps you not only with your presentation, but hook and land more fish. That's it for now, guys. If you like this video, again, please give me a thumbs up. And until next time, thanks for watching and good fishing.